How do you build muscle properly when you're tall? I know from my own personal experience that it's a lot more difficult building muscle when you are pretty tall, especially around 180 centimeters in height and taller than that. It gets a lot more difficult trying to build muscle on that. Building muscle when being tall is a pretty difficult thing, and we who are a bit taller than 180 centimeters especially, we have a huge disadvantage in that we do not have it as easy as the short kings to build muscle, and it's a lot of a pretty hard difficulty, and it's the truth. People who are taller in general have it harder to build muscle than the shorter people on doing it. That's the maybe disadvantage with being a bit taller, and anyone who's a bit taller can agree on this statement that I'm saying now. It's still possible though to build muscle when I'm tall, even though I've been able to build pretty okay amount of muscle, even though for my height it's still possible, I'd say, to build muscle, but you will have to consider that it's going to be a lot harder to build muscle. And there's one specific thing in mind that you need to focus on in order to build muscle properly when you're very tall, and that is you need to eat more food. You need to eat more food, and you need to be a lot stricter on, like, you need to eat more food, because this will help you, even though as a tall person you would want more food in general. But if you're wanting to build muscle as well, you need to eat more food with in terms of when you want to build muscle, and especially when you're tall, it's super important that you eat a lot more food, and more than you usually do. When you're tall, your metabolism is very fast, and that makes it a lot harder to gain weight in general, and anyone who is pretty tall can agree that it's harder gaining weight when you're pretty tall. And when having a fast metabolism makes it hard to gain weight. So the best way for that, to counter fast metabolism, is just to eat more food. Eat more food, that's all. In general, that is like the simple answer to it. If you want to beat your metabolism, your fast metabolism, just eat more food, then you've pretty solved like the entire equation. And it's just as simple as that. If you're still not gaining weight, even though you're eating more food, that just simply means that you need to eat more food. You're just not eating enough, because usually when you are pretty tall as we are, you need to eat a lot more food than usual just to gain a few kilos of weight, and just consistently do that, and eventually you will start gaining weight. You'll have it a lot easier with gaining. When you gain weight, you'll have it easier to build muscle as well, which helps it very much. And you need to be on a pretty hard bulk when being tall, and that's why I recommend that just stay on a consistent bulk. And if you're a bit unsure on how much food you should eat when on your bulk, especially as a tall person, you need to there's actually one thing that's very helpful, is a thing you can search up on Google. Search up BMR calculator. What you're going to put in there is age, height, weight, and what it will tell you is how much calories you need to consume each day to maintain the same weight. And what you need to have to do is add on extra calories on that. Usually a few hundred calories extra as a surplus to the amount of calories you need per day. And by doing that, you will be able to gain weight and build muscle. And my personal advice to you, just focus a lot on carbohydrates when trying to gain weight. Focus on rice, potatoes, pretty simple and cheap stuff that have existed for a very long time. They help very much with gaining weight especially, and then trying to build muscle mass. And that's something I just personally recommend anyone just doing it. And I hope you can find a lot of this information very practical. If you would like to watch more of this content, please like and subscribe. And if you want to watch more of these videos in the future, please turn on your notifications.